next to the Johanna Basford books sit my romantic country books. This is mostly because I think I got Johanna Basford books first, and then I found out that I really like coloring, and then I wanted to try something else. And I saw those and really wanted to have them, and by the time only the first one was released in English, so I got this. It's basically my second kind of coloring book. And if you know that, then it's very strange if I now tell you that I've done almost nothing in these. I don't even know why. I love the illustrations. They're so sweet. But I don't know. I've done this one. I think I saw a picture on Instagram, but I'm very sorry, I cannot remember by whom. And I tried to copy the colors. And then I got, I don't know. This took a very, very long time, and I really like how it turned out, but then I got discouraged. I think I didn't even write down which pencils I used. I have the sticker here, but I don't think it's actually this. So I don't know. This is done mostly with Prismacolors because the paper doesn't take other pencils very well. Prismacolors is fine, but everything else is hard. And I think that's actually the only one I've did in here. Isn't that odd? For something that I like so much. And it's really one of my earliest books. Yeah. That's Romantic Country the first. And when I got the first book, I mean, you know probably yourself that, if there's a set, then you really want to have a full set. And in that, it was 2015, and back then only the first one had actually released in English, but of course the other ones actually existed in Japanese. So I got the second and the third in Japanese. Because I do speak a bit of Japanese, I can actually read some of it, so that it was in, I'll show you. This is actually my Japanese copy. And, I mean, it's not much, right? But it is a story. Somehow, it has some Japanese in. But then I tried to color something in the second tale, I think. And found out that the paper in the Japanese versions was even worse for pencils than the English one. I don't know what's it. I mean, if you just touch it, it doesn't feel bad at all, but I don't know. So I saw it on sale at some point for pretty cheap, and that's when I got the second copy in English. In addition to to my Japanese copy. So now I have two of books I don't color in. I don't know. I really should get to coloring some of those. I think Chris Chang has a version of this that is so pretty. And look at this, it's a little Halloween kitty cat. Oh, this is for Easter. I like that this has, really seasonal pictures in. Maybe, I mean, you don't see it that much. Oh, look at that. I don't see it that much anymore. And I think I tried with the Pablo here, and you can see that it really doesn't agree with the paper. Prismacolor work well in here, but I'm not in the mood for Prismacolor often, so yeah. I really love those books. Japanese books in general are really sweet. Oh, so those are my romantic country. And that's the first stack out of my bookshelf. So let me get the next one. I'll be back in a second. So before we get to my other like high quality books, I want to show you before I forget what I also started with. As I said, I got the Johanna Basford books, and I also wanted to try out some cheap, well, I suppose it's not a book, but coloring pages. So this is Kreativ Meditativ Japan, and it's it has those single-sided pages, but the artwork, I mean, if you're used to high quality books, then it's not that. I try to learn blending here on the fans. Yeah, it's not. I mean, this was back before you could look up flip throughs for everything. This is just, I mean, what's that's supposed to be, huh? Some of the pages are really pretty, but most of them, yeah. This is that. Then I also got, because Amazon was like, hey, you like those coloring books, how about this one? And it turns out that even though this is a different book and a different publisher, it's not just the French version of the German one, but it is almost the same pictures. I mean, I suppose someone took stock pictures and put them in here. They have some proverbs on the other side, but my French is a bit rusty, and I didn't even try and color anything in it because I was so disappointed. I also got this one with cats, because obviously, but it's the same. I don't even know how to color these. I don't think I did anything in here. No. I also got this. I don't have any other Millie Marotta book, but I got her Animal Kingdom postcards because I needed a card with a dove on for my partner. I don't think I have actually done anything else except for that dove. This one is, I used this to test out luminance pencils. I got 2 to test, darker blue and lighter blue. And this is what I did with it. I don't really know, well, this too, I suppose. This one I used to test colors for the dove that I don't actually color. I think her pictures don't lend themselves well to be shrunk like this. They get too fiddly. I still want to try one of her books at some point. She just released a book that has pictures from all of her other books, so maybe I will get that at some point, but because I've seen them colored so prettily, but just on their own, I don't know. But that's good to have, because I really like coloring postcards, and you never know when you need it. And I also got this one because I thought I could copy some of the pages or just use them for practice. And I think I marked the pages that I wanted to do or copy. I don't know. So I didn't really color in this. I didn't plan on actually coloring this. But I did a couple actually. Like this. And I completely forgot that I did. I can't remember when I did it or which pencils I did. I have a feeling that I might have used Prismacolor. And for some reason I managed to not finish it. Completely did it and then didn't do the 2 butterflies. So this counts as a work in progress, I think. And I just found this one. This is a picture from Magical Jungle that I don't know why I did in here and not in the Magical Jungle book. I followed a tutorial, I think by Claire Holloway. I hope that's not wrong. And I really like how that turned out. The, you know, bit muted colors of the leaves here against the super vibrant leaves here. Needs a background though, but I'm calling this done. I think I got this to color more relaxed. I'm not, you know, being afraid that I would mess up my book. But that just means that you don't really color in it after all. This one I started when I got a year ago, a bit more. I got a little tin of Holbein pencils, and one evening while watching TV I started coloring this. But that's not something I want to return to. It's just, this is Lost Ocean and I don't like how small it is. Yeah, that is Johanna Basford's 6-month weekly color planner. And those books don't even really sit on the shelf, they sit on the back of the shelf. I just found them when I was getting another pile. So the next 2, this is Drummond van Gogh by Tomislav Tomic and his Sprookjesbos. I forgot the original titles. Those are both the Dutch. Oh, sorry. Those are both the Dutch versions of it. And I love these pictures so much that I haven't dared touch it. I even owned this one twice just because I was so afraid that it would go away. Because I pre-ordered this months and months ago and I didn't even manage to get into the first print run. This is the second print, as you can see. Because this is just a very small Dutch publisher, and I'm pretty sure because so many people wanted this because the original is so hard to get, they ran out. So I just you'll see that with a couple of my books where I haven't colored in it yet, but I bought them because I've seen it happen too often with coloring books that the print runs are so small and the publishers stop printing them after the first or second or third edition is sold out, and then they're gone. You can't get the artwork any other way, and I've just, it has happened several times with books that, now I'd rather, get a book even though I won't color in it immediately, I suppose, than having it sell out. And this is why I owned this twice, just because I was so afraid it might go away. Because, the nice thing about this hobby, right, is that you can get all the stuff and, well, not with markers and wet media, but with colored pencils and the books. Even if I stop doing this now, in 10 years I can pick it up again and it'll all be there. But the books won't be available anymore, I know. That's why I have several, or backup copies for this one and Magical Jungle, just because. Yeah, I'm sure you have seen his work. It's just stunning. Even having it just in black and white, it's just wonderful. And I don't know whether you know this, but this really reminds me of The Witcher 3, the computer game. Just the princesses and the castles, and it's so pretty. I love this book. And Tomislav Tomic did a second book. Maybe because his first one was so popular or something, and the second book was only half the size for the same price. And what the Dutch publisher did, as you can see, this is the same thickness, right? But the Dutch publisher just printed this single-sidedly, so it's half the pictures on the same amount of pages. And I think it looks a bit odd now, like this, but well, I love his art, so that's just how it is, and some of those pictures are so wonderful. I don't know when I would ever get the courage to color them, but oh god, I love this. But just looking at them in black and white makes me happy. So this is Tomislav Tomic. And now we get to Hanna Karlzon. And I have several books from her. Also, I think Dagdram was one of the earlier books I had too. And then I got Complete Set Syndrome. And while I do like her artwork, you will see that I haven't done much in it. Oh, I love this one. This needs to be tagged. I don't know. I don't think I've done a single one in here. That's so bad. I have this since... when was this printed? 2016. Yeah, this is Dagdram. And then I don't know in which how I got them. I got Seasons. Oh yeah, this is the original Swedish version. I think back when I got this, there was no English version available. But then I got Seasons in the English version, because then she got picked up by a publisher. And again, I don't think I've done a single thing in here. I love books that have like a seasonal theme, that go through all the seasons, start in spring, go through summer, autumn, winter. I don't know. Huh. Then I have Summer Nights, again the English edition. And the same, I'm pretty sure I have done no single picture in here. This is so bad. Again, it's also 2016. And then I got Magus Grinning. I forgot the English title. This is again the Swedish edition, and you'll be happy to know that I actually did a picture in here. I actually only did this because I wanted to try the galaxy background. I think the background is a tutorial followed by Color with Claire. And I just needed a throwaway picture where I could practice it on, and I think I told myself, well, you haven't colored in any of your Hanna Karlzon books, so pick this. And so the background is inspired by a tutorial by Color with Claire, and the Bob with the baubles, I think I saw a picture on Instagram, but again, I'm very sorry, I don't know who did it. So yay, I have 4 Hanna Karlzon books and only one finished picture. Yeah, it did a bit of go through. This is Neo color for the background, and I'm very sure this is Faber-Castell Polychromis for the baubles, and some gel pen. Don't know whether you can see. And the Neo color bled a bit through in this one area because I used a bit too much water. But other than that, the paper held it up very nicely. I need to do more Hanna Karlzon. My God. Even, you know, I have to admit this, you know, it's just you and me, right? She has a 5th book out, which is called Jewelry Box, that I don't have. And I have talked myself out of getting it several times now because, you know, I have 4 books, I have done 1 picture of her. But she will have a new book, a 6th book out in this spring, I think. And I have pre-ordered it because it is called like Soulmates and will have a animal and a human or something on each page, like soulmates, and I just couldn't resist. Just pre-ordered it. This is Magus grinning. Okay, we're almost through my first shelf. Let me get the next stack. At some point I will also need to split the video. I don't know, maybe this is already part 2. We'll see. Be right back. And I'm back. I first need a bit more tea. Because of all the talking. So, I have 2.5 shelves with coloring books. And the first shelf, that is the one that is right next to me. This is all my favorite books, which is why you see all those, you know, high quality, expensive books there. Favorite doesn't necessarily mean that I color much in it, as you saw. But the next books are the ones by Clara Markova, and I got them pretty late. I think only last year. I, of course, had seen them before on Instagram and Facebook, and seen so many beautiful pictures done with it. But for some reason, the art never appealed to me, and then it suddenly clicked, and as you might know, I think she's Czech, and you can buy the books via Etsy, and sometimes you can also get them on Amazon, but only when they get a shipment to Amazon and then they sell out. So you have to be a bit to wait a bit. So I decided I really wanted them, and then started stalking Amazon for them. She always puts in those sweet little bookmarks. And you won't be surprised to notice that I haven't colored in this at all, even though I probably should. But as I said, this is one of those books that I would be afraid that it might sell out and not be continue to be printed. I mean, she does self-publish, so of course she decides when to stop publishing it. It's not a publisher's decision, right? So maybe it's less risky. But this is so small. The print is, the print editions are smallish that I just had to, get them just in case. And this is Karovne Lehnosti. Oh, I'm very sorry. My Czech is very rusty. Which is actually she's going to release finally an English edition of this. This is her first book, which released. Let me check. In 2016 first. And yeah, she'll release one that has English writing. It's the same book, of course. And then I got the English edition of Tenderful Enchantments, and maybe I just needed to get that because of the cover color. I love this color, and the books are so wonderful and pretty. It has this gold foiling. It's just, the book is so luxurious. And again, I haven't colored in this, even though there's so many pictures that I absolutely love. This one, so wonderful. Love this. Yeah, if I had endless time, I would start with the first page and color through. Oh, sorry. Well, get a second copy first and then color, just in case. And then her newest book, Fairy Miracles. For that one, I actually stalked Amazon because she had released a book on her Etsy, but the shipping to me was almost as much as the book. But I knew that she would, wanted to put it out on Amazon too, as with the others. So I checked Amazon every day, several times, until it was there, and I think it was sold out in minutes. But I got it, and I think this is absolutely one of her best books. And you will be happy to know that I actually colored a picture in here. This is the bunnies. You might have seen it. Very proud of this one. Because I'm afraid of, ruining the book. I copied it out. Just to, just in case I would actually not, make it well. But now that it turned out well, I'm actually kind of sorry that I didn't do it in the book, because I think it's so pretty to have pictures done in the book. Yeah. Or maybe I should show you, more. Also, there's a couple of pictures that I think are so adorable. Oh, let's see where that is. Like this one with the kitties, of course, in the little purse. And then there's one, where is it? This one is also so sweet. This is a Tenderful Enchantments, by the way. Can you see? That's so sweet. No, I can't find it with the little mice that return home. Ah, there. This one. So sweet. I don't know. I suppose I can find this when I look at the book, right? It doesn't need a little tag. See? I didn't forget that I wanted to tag stuff. And now, the last pictures in there, and I think looking at them, they also go on the pile of shame. This is Blobster Mandala, the Swedish version. I actually don't know how it's called in English. There is an English edition out, but I think I got this when I got my first Hanna Karlzon book, and I got really into Swedish coloring books. They got really popular around that time, and they were super hard to get back then. Now she's got picked up by an English publisher, so it's easier. And well, as you can see, I have done nothing in this book, even though I really enjoy her artwork. Really, really do. I especially like some of those with a black background. This one, at least I wrote down how I wanted it to do. There's a YouTube tutorial with Chris Chang that is very pretty. And okay, you have to take my word for it. I actually did this one. I copied it and followed a tutorial by Shirley XY for the little ones. And I gifted it to my partner because he loves hedgehogs. So it's not in the book, but I did it. Oh, I've seen this one done so beautiful. I think this needs a tag. Whenever I see the Swedish coloring books, especially the Hanna Karlzon ones, I always have to think of Always Coloring. Katrine, she unexpectedly passed away last year, and she loved those and colored so much in those and did so many wonderful artworks. So this is Blobster Mandala by Maria Trolle. And then I also got Nightfall by Maria Trolle. This is the English edition now. Oh, look at that. I actually did a picture. And I was just talking of her. This is done from a tutorial by Always Coloring. Always makes me so sad to think of her. I miss her. I miss her really much. Yeah, I can't remember with which pencils I used. I'm pretty sure it might have been Prismacolors. And this was very quick and easy because the background, as you can see, is already done. And this is done with gel pens. Oh, there's another little head. She does the hedgehog so sweetly. Yeah, I really like her style. She's at the... she'll have a story coloring book out soonish. Then I got Drummond Rays. This got up by the Dutch publisher that does a lot of those. I don't know whether the original Swedish book never got picked up by the English publisher, but this actually took quite a while until it had an international release. I think it's the original one is Vivi Söker en Van from 2016 too, and this is basically the story of Vivi, how she travels. I think the original title translates to Vivi Searches a Friend. And yeah, this is basically her journey, as you can see. And I think it's so sweet. And I have done nothing in it. I think with those, it's a bit like with Ivy. In Ivy, you also have the little girl that is in almost all of the pictures. And of course, you would need to kind of color her the same all the time, I suppose. Otherwise, it would look odd. And then I just can't. But it's a wonderful book. And then this is her latest book, Botanical. And this is the Swedish edition. And I really was so hyped up about this book ever since I... heard about this actually in the podcast by Passionista Colorista, which I love, and she interviewed Maria Trolle and she talked about this book, and I didn't even know there was a new book coming out from her, and I checked out some of the pictures, and it turned out that a lot of the pictures have little dragons, little fairy dragons in. Let me see what I can find. Now I said lots of pictures and now I can't find. Like those. And I mean, I was sold. Dragons. And I really think it's so sweet. I like that she, many of the artworks now have frames, and I think that is so insanely pretty. I think this is absolutely one of her best books. And it wasn't, easily available back then in English. I think there's an English edition out now, but I couldn't wait that long. So I had my partner bring it from Denmark to me. So, and he gifted it to me. So this is a very, very special book to me because of that. Always makes me smile when I see it. So this is my first shelf with all the, high quality books that are, even though I obviously don't color much in it, absolutely my favorite books. So let me sort all of those books back and get a second stack, or at least, have a break because my voice is starting to give out.